Morning. How are you all doing? This is Wednesday morning. Daryl, Marie and I are going to join you now and talk about this meeting out at the Vaal. We're on the classic track. I can tell you that in this point in time, there are a handful of scratchings and a couple of jockey changes. We'll keep you posted and all that. But some short price favourites that are running on Thursday afternoon. We'll find out more about them. You are, of course, reminded about our Betway account opportunity. That's a QR code on your screen. You just scan it away at it, open it, and come and join up with the Betway people. Second race on the card. Let's take a look at that. Let me give you what the Betway market looks like early Wednesday. 3 Chronicle King is 11 to 20. That's the price they got it at. 4 Fire Starter, second choice at 16 to 10. And it's pretty much 10 to 1 bar, just the two of those horses. Daryl Marie, who's been in deadly form, is with me today.
Yeah.
Nice to be with you.
You put in the Oz.
No.
Clyde, we weren't that good yesterday at Kenilworth.
Weren't we?
Although our best bet won, but
the other day you had a clean sweep, I see, the other day. Right? Sunday, Mother's Day you had you took the bar pot, the PA, the jackpot, the pick six, the two best bets arrived.
What do you make of these comments in the front of the computer form? I mean,
what about?
I mean, can trainers be so wrong, or what is the story? Is everyone guessing? What's the story, Clyde?
Wow, what do you mean?
I don't know. I was put off by comments yesterday.
Oh, yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay.
And in the past. Clyde, opening leg of the bar pots.
Yes.
I've played the safe route. Now, I've got no doubt that number 3, Chronicle King, brings the strongest form into this race. Of that, there's no doubt. We saw that horse win again, Whispering Death, and we saw the 4th horse win. And Tony actually likes his 4th horse, the 3rd horse, Mighty Eagle. He thinks he's a nice horse in the making. And 4th in that race was Golden Warrior, number 5. So Golden Warrior's held. This horse, Chronicle King, was meant to run recently. And it was scratched with a hoof abscess.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so here he is lining up a week later. And take note who his biggest danger was ridden by last time. Gavin Lorena. Gavin Lorena is obviously at the choice of right, in my mind, and has opted for Chronicle King over Fire Starter.
Sure.
However, I do make Fire Starter a bit of a danger. I don't believe his form lines are anywhere near as strong as Chronicle King, but he caught the eye on debut. I don't think he got the smoothest of passages. He's going to appreciate the extra, and he's obviously more racing fit. I mean, he ran 2 weeks ago, and he's got a lot of scope for improvement. Both of them have life. I'd be shocked if we don't get through this leg.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's hope. I'm sure Candice will be hoping for their stable they can come back to form and have a winner. Chronicle King is the one to beat. Daryl, however, from a bipod perspective, is including number 4, Fire Starter. Okay, let's go on to the third race on the card now and have a look at what the plan is here. Number 5 is Matchament that tops the boards. It's currently priced up at 7 to 10. Is it a 7 to 10 shot? We'll ask Daryl in a minute. 9 Witching Hour is the second choice at 2 to 1. 7 to 2 about the third price horse, Rejuvenate, number 8 on the card. And there's a first timer in there from Tyre and Zaki stable, Little Miss Million, number 4, who's currently any price. And that's pretty much betting for the rest of the runners. Only a few in here, because there are a number of scratchings. Take out the 2, take out the 3, take out the 6. All of this on Wednesday morning. Odds on about the favourite?
Yeah, deservedly so.
Deservedly so, okay.
2 lovely efforts to date.
Yes.
Now stepping up in trip. I had a look at who she's related to. Riverstown. Paul Peter trained Riverstown. Won many races over 1400.
Yeah.
Rain or Shine, 1400 miler. Turconnell, a 1400 meter specialist. Looks like she's going to see out the extra. And I don't think she has to be at her best over a mile to get the better of this field, because I think her form line certainly is stronger than Witching Hour. Witching Hour, only one effort today, Clyde. And it wasn't a bad effort whatsoever, but you have to take note of who she ran behind.
Yeah.
On a jet plane, took 8 starts to win her maiden. Second in that race was Winds of Grace.
Yes. Not strong enough.
Not strong enough.
Okay. So the favourite.
Compared to Matchament. But plenty of scope for improvement.
Sure.
Rejuvenate the companion to the favourite, Clyde.
Yes.
Her latest effort was her best to date. Of that, there's no doubt, and that was over 1400. Now she's stepping up to a mile. In that race, obviously, the winner was Red Penny. He came out and ran third behind. Who was that horse, Clyde, over the weekend?
Rejuvenate.
Yeah.
Um,
What was that horse's name? Charming Cheetah, man.
Charming Cheetah.
Charming Cheetah. And it looks like she's
Charming
improving.
Cheetah's a nominee for the Champion 2.
Yeah. So I'm actually going in this order 4, 8, 9. But a confident bank in the PA, certainly. And I actually think if you play your all to comes, include race 2 as your first leg.
Okay, there we go. PA's Banker 5, Banker 7. So we start the PA's light, and it's a reasonable cost of 240 Rand. Race 4, everybody. It's a maiden class field. It's over 1,000 metres. We stay up the straight. There are 9 of them, well, there were. Take out 8 now. That's not running anymore. And the market's got them as follows in the opening leg of the pick 6. 4 Summer Winter. 4 Micah Nadamazi, Samanga Kamala, 5-2. Joint with the 6 Captain Frank, first timer. For the Mike de Cock stable, Kabela Matsanyani riding. 7 Sunset Warrior is 4-1. 6-1 about 1 Jet Karori. And it's 14-1 and better about the balance. Okay, we've got a first timer in here, which means if you like Summer Winter, perhaps it's strong enough or good enough. With the first
I'll tell you what, if
say,
this first time is fancy, Clyde, the 9, according to the comments, isn't fancied. We'll need the experience. If the 6 is fancied on debut, I don't think he'll come out of first gear.
Really?
Against this lot.
Is it?
But there's no comments. Obviously, there will be a comment
I think
come race day.
the de Cock horses are always ready, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think they are.
The dam was
If
unraced.
the field's not strong enough, then go for this horse.
The dam's not was unraced, and he's a first foal, I think. So there's no siblings that I could give info on. Clyde,
How strong? Tell me, how strong is the Summer Winter? What's not.
Listen, funny enough, that form line's worked out better than what I thought it would. You know that filly ran second in her post-maiden effort, Captain Salvi.
Yes.
And 8 Hats won, and there's another winner, Pantheria Unse, but that was in a work rider event. I actually thought that form line was going to battle, but surprisingly it's holding up. What I do want to say about Summer Winter is much better over 1,000 meters up the straight. Much better effort. She's got the experience on her side, but you can see she's limited, Clyde.
Okay.
You know, when a Michael Azzi horse hasn't won in its first 6 or 7 outings,
they're under pressure.
They're not going to Hollywood.
All right, we'll see.
Then
how
number
that
7,
goes.
Sunset Warrior. I mean, who wants to take on Brett Weber at the
Gee,
moment?
he's flying,
Hey.
eh? And he said to me, he's only got a handful of horses. You know that, eh?
This is a 2-year-old, Clyde. And although Spiritrix fluffed her lines in her next start, I don't think that was a bad effort whatsoever. Last time out, One Tiger finished well behind him on that occasion, came out and won. And then a horse called Raceway finished 3 odd lengths behind him, came out and got beat a short head or whatever the case may be. So I'm confident enough in bankering number 7, Sunset Warrior, because he has had the benefit of 2 runs. But really, if this first time is fancied, just follow the market and follow the trade on number 6, Captain Frank. It could be a penalty kick, but yeah, banker 7 in the PA, numbers 4 and 7 in the pick 6 will certainly suffice.
Safe. Looks safe, the first leg. In terms of pick 6s from Daryl, there are the numbers, and it's a 19. It's a 192 per 10%. Welcome back. We waited to win here at the Kailami studio, and we're having a look this Wednesday morning at the Vaal Classic meeting. We're going into jackpots now, and this is a maiden class field. It is over the mile, and note that all 10 of them at this point in time are going to the gate. Let's take a look at what Betway have decided to do with the market in this race, and Molotov Cocktail is the 14-10 favourite. Only had the 1 run to date. It was a pretty promising first run, so that's the story with that. 1 Phil the Fluter, is priced up 7-2 second choice. 4 Chieftain Shield is 4-1. It's 6-1 the 2 Brigham, maybe a bit far for Brigham last time, and 6 Mistakes is at 10-1. It's 14-1 and better about the balance. Yeah, one start to date, the favourite, Daryl. Not a bad run at all.
Not a bad run whatsoever. Have a
Yes.
look who his dam is. Another Russia.
Yeah,
He's
beautifully bred, huh?
Give me another's brother, Clyde, half brother.
Ah.
Only had one start to date. Was following a few on debut, and when he switched to the middle of the course, he stayed on all the way. Didn't quite quicken, he just stayed on. And that form line, although there's been a winner in Ichacha from there, there were quite a few who flashed across the post, quite congested, and I'm always a bit wary of that. Listen, Clyde, in a couple of months' time, this horse could be divisions ahead of what he meets here. Just, he's going around the bend for the first time, only having his second start. I can see him winning of that, there's no doubt. But he needs to build on that effort, and I'm sure he will.
They've gone to look for Gavin to ride. But Raymond was on this horse now. So Gavin, they're obviously going to look for him, right? To ride.
Have a look at James and Gavin. 6 runners, 4 winners in 2 seconds.
There you go. Doesn't that say enough?
It does.
Yes.
Clyde, in Crescendo's race were horses called Mystic Vision and 2 for the boys. They beat Molotov Cocktail.
Yeah.
Chieftain Shield, who's had 17 starts to date, beat those 2 last time out, and he cost himself victory. I mean, he hung across the course. He should really confirm form with number 5, Follow the Master. He's very limited, Chieftain Shield. Very limited. But maybe he gets it right one of these days.
Yeah.
Full the Flutter interests me a lot. He only had 1 run for Robin last time out in KZN. And I thought he would take it up, but he was off the pace and he was running on all the way to the line. This time he's going to strip fitter. I wouldn't be surprised if Cabello makes use of him, pings those gates and takes him to the front because he does have the experience. And since then, Clyde, Robin's stable.
Firing.
He's firing. Follow stables in form and you can't go wrong. So 1, 4 and 9. If you want to go wider, add number 5. But I think those should suffice.
Now we're going over 2,000 metres in this particular event, our next race on the card, and it's a handicap at the 66 level, 2,000 metres. So all the handicappers about are running here, and Ghana's top of the boards for St. John Gray, 28-10 favourite, 10 Bob Lee Swagger, second choice at 9-2, 11-2 number 3 Sneak Preview, number 9 The Merciful is trading at 7-1, and 8 City Lights is trading at 12s and better about the balance. So Ghana is current favourite. I don't know. So I looked at it and thought it would be a tricky lineup. 12 of them that are going to the start, unless you've got a bit of a shrewd here that we can maybe spotted or not.
Very tricky race. I went with 4 runners and I'm not convinced. Numbers 3, 4, 9 and 10. Let's touch on Sneak Preview, Clyde.
Yep.
She's back over a distance that she's won over, 2,000 metres. And maybe now that she's matured, this is what she's looking for. Drawn 1, really going to get the run of the race. So if you fancy her chances, I can't put you off. And we know that Lucky does well at the Vaal. Sea Shanty won from there directly and Sail the Sky won indirectly. So last time she did run against Open Company, as what she does tomorrow. Gamer, you can see Gamer last time out, he actually holds Bob Lee Swagger on the Hugh Tanango form. And this horse continues to finish thereabouts and his rating is dropping steadily. Gavin now for St. John, well drawn. Another that has to be included. The Merciful and Bob Lee Swagger contested the same race last time out. Now, Bob Lee Swagger surprisingly raced handy on that occasion. And maybe that's got to do with the fitment of the blinkers. Because he wore them last time out for the first time. He was up on the pace. Whereas generally he gets left and never gets into contention. But if the same can happen, I can see him going back to back. The Merciful, on the other hand, is 3 kilograms better off and has a neater draw. And his rating's right down to a 59. So those are the 4 I'm focusing on. Numbers 3, 4, 9 and 10. I've suggested that exacta boxed. And I actually think we'll show a profit here, Clyde.
Okay. Well, Gamer's the favourite, but it's a tricky race. This Daryl's 4, as you can see, are 3, 4, 9, and 10, but it's a kind of race you can throw up anything. Now we go to divided handicap. It's fillies and mares. The girls line up here. It's at the 74 level, and it's a 2,000 meter race. 12 of them that line up in this event. And let's take a look at the market. The 1 Wagram's favourite at 5-2. Number 2 Ideal Future, second choice 5-1. There are a few here at 7-1. All of the following are at 7-1. 5 Azaleas for All, 6 Red Sparrow, and 4 Rose 11. They're all 7s, and then you can get 8-1 and better about the balance. Talk to me about Alec Laird's horse here that Calvin's riding. Wagram, you like it?
I do like it. You know, Clyde, you need to watch that replay.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what, she was never going to run a place. You need to watch her coming into the straight. Looks like she's going nowhere. And she only got into the race very, very late. I don't think that short straight really suited her. But one thing is for certain, being out of a dam by Giant's Causeway, she should really love the step up in trip. You know, she responded to Marco's strong urgings very late, so stayed on all the way to the line. She may well be better than currently rated now that she goes the extended trip. So I can see her winning, and I can actually see her winning comfortably. However, she still needs to prove it on the track that she does get the distance. Azaleas for All, number 5. Last time out, disappointing effort. I liked her chances. It was dismal. Prior to that, I thought that was a great second run after a layoff. Race wasn't really run to suit. Gavin sticks with her from a neat draw, and I'll give her a strong winning chance here. Then number 8, Patches of Grey, Clyde. You need to also take into consideration that last run, she never led like it said in the computer form. She actually raced 3 wide without cover. And considering that she didn't disgrace herself. Have a look at her rating, down to a 66. Chase rode her in her penultimate starts. This filly is actually better than her recent form, number 8, Patches of Grey. So if you're looking for a little bit of a sneaker, nice trifecta inclusion. And then another one I found, just strictly because of her form on this track alone, is Angel's Wish. She's, to date, I know she's a 6-year-old mare, but to date she's won 4 races. 3 of those 4, Clyde, have been on the Vaal Classic track. That must tell you that her best form is always here, and her ratings come down to a 58. Kobeli de Harbour, have you been watching him ride lately, Clyde? I think he switched it on the Highveld. He is riding with a lot of patience.
That's good.
So, yeah, what you see is what you get with her, but if she can sneak into 3rd, it will be a nice result, or even 2nd for the exacta, but for the trifecta, yes, include her.
All right.
So 1, 5, 8, and 11. Difficult race, it certainly doesn't stop there.
Okay, it's another tricky one. We'll leave it to you. 8th race on the card is over the 2,000 metres. Let's take a look at the betting on Wednesday morning. Remember, 2 DeMarco's Jet Tops aboard, 4-1. 1 Avo on Toast is the 5-1 second favourite. 6-1 13 Free in Seattle. 10 Party Punches trading at 7-1. So is number 12 Play with Fire. And then you got the 5 horse Hearts on Fire, who's at 10-1. You can get 14-1 and better about the balance. It's a handicap for the girls, again, a divided handicap now at the 85 level, and markets are showing Avo on Toast and DeMarco Jet as the 2. Whether it ends there or not, I don't know. What do you think, Mr. Murray?
I'll tell you why I think it doesn't end there.
Yep.
Firstly, have a look at numbers 1, 2, and 13's form lines, Clyde. For fillies and mares, how consistent have they proven to be? They always give off their best. Now, Avo and Toast.
Yes.
Flattered by the pace somewhat last time out, Clyde. They went very quick. They went very quick up front. Who says there isn't going to be a fast pace here? So, yes, she did pick up a hefty penalty, but I think that race really played into her hands. Yeah, Striker sticks with her and Joey. Let's see how she goes. DeMarco's Jet, fortunate to get a cracking ride by Ryan last time out. Remember, they were slowing things up front, and he said, no. Switched around, then took it up a long way from home and kept on running. We've seen that form line being franked with Diamonds winning from there. LMB hasn't won in a year. However, she is 2.5 kilograms better off, Clyde, with DeMarco's Jet. Neat draw. She'll be ridden quietly. She could stay on into the money. I'm Regal coming down in the ratings. She's down to 78, and you can see there's some signs of life. Although she's 5 years old, she's regaining competitiveness. So yeah, I've included her in my exacta box, and poor old Free in Seattle keeps finding one too good for her, but she's gonna get it right one of these days. Calvin sticks with her from a neat draw.
All right, so
5 runners. Exacta box. If LMB or I Am Regal manage to win or finish in the top 2, I'm certain we'll show a profit.
All right, well, that's a 200 rand exacta box. 1, 2, 6, 7, and 13. 9th race on the card, 66 handicap, E division horses that run here, and this particular event is run over 1,500 meters. Make a note of the distance. And there are 14 of them, all lined up at this point in time Wednesday morning when doing the show. So you guys just need to take a closer look come race time if there are any further changes. Well, the early market says 5-2 about number 2, Kalida. Number 6, Sail the Sky, second choice, 3-1. 6-1 about 4, Kotinos. 1 after hours is trading at 7-1. And you can get 12-1 about the 12 Stroke of Mercy. That's the latest on the 9th race. This is Gavin Larina, who rides for the Waishong Mawing stable here, and Kalida tops the boards. I know you also fancy a bit of Sail the Sky. What do you have of late? Same story?
Yeah, Sail the Sky. Tricky sort, temperamental. If he breaks well and he's on the front foot, big runner. You can see on his last start, Clyde, he's actually held by Kalida, but you know what? I'm a little bit concerned about Kalida. I don't think he was moving that well to the start last time in the canter past. Now he's a week later after a good couple of months off. Second run after a rest. Barring his penultimate start, he's ultra consistent and he's got the 1 draw, so he should get the run of the race. I just want to see him in the canter past before I can give any confidence. And then number 2, After Hours, was in the very same race, Clyde. He is a hull, but he's got a neat draw this time round, and that app he's riding. Well, he's not an appy anymore.
Okay. Who?
No, he's not.
No.
He's riding with a lot of confidence. So I've included him. And then, Clyde, the course specialist, Kotinos. Yes. For
it's been a while, eh?
500 days between
drinks. It's been a while.
But back on the classic track. Don't exclude him.
Okay.
So once again, Clyde, this is a very, very difficult race.
So you're concerned about Kalida's the way it goes to the gate. That's what's worrying you, right? All right.
Exacta box, Clyde. Let's try and make some money with the exacta box.
All right, let's do some exotics, exactas that is, and we're taking a boxing here, 1, 2, 4, and 6. That's our 9th race preview of the Vaal. Remember to join us for the Quebec preview on Friday, and I'll chat to Daryl Marie over the weekend with racing coming up. And we'll talk about a few things with particular reference to the Hollywood Bets Durban July, an early look.